Well, in this day and age, social media is where many people turn first when they hear news of this magnitude, and that was indeed the case when news broke of Nelson Mandela's death. And our social media producer, Samantha Barry, has been looking into that reaction, a huge amount of it, Sam.
Huge amount of reactions, and from countries all over the world. So we actually have a graph of where the majority of those conversations, or at least the top 5, are coming from. Not surprising, the US tops the list, and that's for a variety of reasons. First of all, very vocal online, but also
so that yellow bar is a sort of number of mentions,
the
or
number of
tweets?
mentions. Yeah. So the US tops the list because when the story broke, the US was waking up, and that's when people started talking about it. The UK came second, Netherlands very, very much talking about it. South Africa, a lot of South Africa were going to bed when the news started breaking.
Yes,
so
many people didn't know until the next
Exactly.
morning. Now, what else has stood out for you?
Well, it's not actually only people on Earth that are tweeting or posting about it. The International Space Station have put a post on Google Plus with quite a nice image of Nelson Mandela's homeland of South Africa, taken by one of their astronauts. And in it they said Cape Town, South Africa and South Atlantic calling to forever.
Beautiful.
So that was quite
So they're
nice.
looking down on South Africa. And what about the ways in which people actually consumed the information?
Well, Twitter, we've got a pie chart of exactly how people consumed the information, and Twitter was very much the go-to breaking news platform, including BBC's breaking tweet, which was the most retweeted tweet we've ever had. 78,000 people retweeted the first tweet that we had.
Really, that was a record and compared to how long we've had that account up.
A record number of shares and favourites on the account. A lot of people going as well to Facebook. So if in particular if you're out and about and you're on your phone, this is where people found out the news. But what happens in this case is often they will find out the breaking news on a social platform and then turn on their TV to find out more analysis about it.
Yeah, and of course people were using a whole variety of different hashtags. I mean, many of them just the simple, hashtag Mandela, but people putting other words as well together.
So legend was one that stuck out for me. That's quite a popular hashtag.
Just that, simple,
just
the one
simple,
word, legend.
Legend. Remembering Mandela, so there's a lot of people talking about their experiences of either seeing him being released or their memories of him, but lots of different variations on Mandela, legend, hope, father, lots of little hashtags like that.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's going to carry on like that right on info in the course of the next few days as he is mourned. Thank you very much. Samantha Barry, who's our social media producer. Now, I said we were going to talk about the reaction on social media, and it has been very striking in the last 24 hours, not yet 24 hours, of course, and Samantha Barry is our social media producer. Huge number of tweets, Sam.
Huge, and I'd be very surprised if this didn't break the records across Twitter and Facebook for the most talked about news event ever on social media. There's been at least 10 million posts around the world in the last 18 hours. It's trending in every country in the world. The hashtags Mandela, RIP Nelson Mandela, poignant hashtags for, in particular for people in South Africa, are remembering Mandela. And a lot of people have been reaching out to us on our Facebook page as well. And this is a word cloud of some of the messages that have been coming.
Let's see if we can bring the word cloud up, because it's always interesting to see which words people are using the most. Mandela itself, of course, but RIP, not surprising.
That is one of the biggest ones. And it has to be said, not the vast majority are very positive and they're paying tributes. There are some people with negative comments going to social media. And then there's a subsector of younger people that are asking about Nelson Mandela that didn't know who he was.
Well, it's a chance for all of us to look back and to share so much about this remarkable life. Sam, thank you very much. So memories are being shared and tributes are being paid around the world. His was a remarkable life. Anyone who became the first black president of South Africa would have had a unique place in history, but Nelson Mandela's personal qualities made him even more unique than that. And we're going